Hello, I'm Chris Fisher. We are reading Stanley in Space by Jeff Brown. We are on chapter 9. As you remember, Stanley has a great idea. I think it's to take all the tyrants back to Earth with him. So that's what they're going to try to figure out if they can do that now. Okay, here we go. Chapter 9. The Weighing. From each little house on each little street, the tyrants came, every man, woman, and child, even Captain Ick, with a guard from the jail. The rain had stopped, and an evening light shone gold on the brown field in which the tiny people stood assembled. President Odd addressed them. Fellow tyrants, I must confess that your government has deceived you. The truth is, it will be at least a year before our fields and streams are fit again. Cries rose from without. We were lied to! Lordy, talk about bad news! We'll starve! Shoot the scientist! Wait, shouted President Ott. We are offered refuge on Earth. If the voyage is possible, pay attention, please. Stepping forward, Mr. Lambchop read aloud from the booklet he had come with the Star Scout. Your spacecraft has been designed for safety as well as comfort. Use only as directed. He raised his voice. Do not add weight by bringing souvenirs aboard or by inviting friends to ride with you. Cries rose again. That did it. We're not souvenirs. He said, no friends either, stupid. We had it all. We had it. Look, like. Mr. Lambchop raised his hand. There's still hope, but you must be weighed. Also, the supplies you will require for the trip. The Star Scout's bathroom scales set down on the field proved too high for the tyrants, and the weighing was briefly delayed until Arthur, using the Monopoly board, ran a ramp by which they could easily mount. General App barked orders. Right then, groups of 20 to 25 families together, and don't jingle. The Otts and 6 other families marched up onto the scale, beside which Mrs. Lambchop stood with a pad and pencil. 7 1/4 pounds, she said, writing it down. Next, shouted General App, but the Ott group was already starting down another marching up. Group after group mounted the scale. There was jingling due to excited children, and Mrs. Lambchop took care to wait until the needle was still. Within an hour, the entire population of Tyre had been weighed, along with its supplies of untinned food and fizzola. And she added it all up. Tyrants, 239. She announced food and fizzola, 140. Total, 379 pounds. We are saved! Or are we too fat? Came a cry. Too soon to tell, Mrs. Lambchop called. Back. We must see how we can lighten our ship. A good start was made by discarding the starship's dining table and one steel bunk, since Stanley and Arthur could easily share. Then out went Stanley's tennis balls, extra sweater, and his chief pilot's zip jacket, which the American flag. Out went Arthur's knee socks, raincoat, and plastic gorilla he had smuggled aboard. Mrs. and Mr. Lambchops added their extra clothing, lamps, kitchenware, the Monopoly game, and at least the posters of Mexico and France. The crowd stood hushed as the pile was weighed. Somewhere a baby cried, and its parents scolded it. 370 pounds, Mrs. Lambchop announced. Oh dear, she whispered to President Ott. 2 less than we need. I see, President Ott, after a moment's thought, climbed up onto the sail. Good news, tyrants, he called. Almost all of us are saved. Almost all of us, get it? Cheers went up, and then someone shouted, what do you mean, almost all? We weighed as a nation, a bit too much, President Ott explained, but only 4 if largest need to stay behind. I shall be one. Will 3 more volunteer? Murmurs rose from the crowd. That's my kind of president. Leave Ick behind. How about you, Ralph? Asked somebody else. Darn you! The matter was quickly resolved. I won't go without you, dear, Mrs. Ott told her husband, and Captain Ick, hoping to regain popularity, announced that he too would remain. General App was the 4th volunteer. Just an old soldier, ma'am, he told Mrs. Lambchop. lived a full lifetime, now just fade away to, hey, wait! Arthur was pointing at the scale. We forgot that, he said. We can leave the scale behind. Now nobody has to stay. Well, that is the end of chapter 9. Thanks.